going to teach it to make decisions. So you will see if statement. There is a statement called if. So it is very simple. Simply type if, and with a bracket, start bracket, and put a condition inside the bracket, and then follow it. It is a block of code with the curly bracket. Okay, and if this condition is true, and the codes inside this bracket will be executed. Okay, and let's see the example at the right hand side. Sometimes we will want computer to handle case A. What if case A is not true? And we want it to handle another case if case A is not true. So we will use else. If else, we call it if else statement. If age is less than 30, so we will lock a young man. Okay. But if age is equals to 30 or bigger than 30, so the code inside this block, line 10 to line 12, will be executed. Okay, and we will see still young. This message appears on your browser. We're going to do this now. Okay, and go to your VS Code, and we have declared age before, so make decision, and if age is less than 30, then we say okay, so in contrast, if age is equals to 30 or bigger than 30, then we print still young at the screen. Okay. So Andy has said HTML is not a very strict language. So if you type something wrong or you make some mistake inside the HTML tag, it is okay. You still able to see the results coming out, but that is totally different in JavaScript. Okay, if you make some mistakes, maybe I missing the E inside the condition, then errors will throw because computer doesn't know what is AG. You haven't told it before, so please make sure you have typed the exact same value as you have declared it before. So save it and go to the browser and refresh. So you see young. Let's print out. So it's very simple, right? For the if statement. Any question about the if statement? No? It should be very simple for if statement. And we're going to do a more complex, more complicated example. So this example will be, the result will change as long as time goes by. So we're going to example 2. So we tell computer the current hour. So what hour at this moment? We create we call it date object, That object represents that moment we have created. So we create a date object, new date object, and then each date object has a function called get hours. So you can get the current value of the hours from this object. Okay, the day object, okay? And then we assign the value to the variable called current hour, okay? And then we set, yes, day class is a JS defined class, yes. So the day object is a predefined class. Even we doesn't tell computer what is date, but we are still able to use it because it is something predefined before. Once you say you type date, then JavaScript will gather, oh, it is a day object. Okay. Then each day object has a lot of functions you can get. You can get the full year, so 2000 or 2020, and get a day and get a date. So you can see what it returns at the instruction from the instruction of VS Code. So we're going to get the hours, the value of hours, and if current hour is less than 18, okay, less than 18. 18 means 6 o'clock, okay, 6 p.m. Then we say good day. If it is equals to 18 or bigger than 18, then we log good evening. Okay. New means we're going to create a new one. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to see the results. You will see good day. Should be good day. Okay. And the day object is following the time zone. If you are at Australia or Europe, it should be good day as well. I don't know. It depends on where you are. But at Hong Kong, it should be good day because it is 5:16 right now. So the value of current hours still less than 18. And so this example is more complicated than this one. Okay, any question about the if statement? Cool. Then we're going to learn about loop. So we now we have a very simple summary. So we have learned variable, how to store data, and the operations. Okay, and then the decision making. And now we are going to learn about loop. So computer do something repeatedly and in a very fast speed, in a very high speed. Okay, so we're going to use for loop to do something repeatedly. Okay, so this is a very simple for loop function, and inside the bracket, firstly, we tell computer we're going to make a for function, a for loop. And inside this bracket, we are going to put some settings inside it. So we put the first one as a counter, the counter, and call I. And initially, the value of I is 0. And then if I less than 5, this function still can run. Once I is equal to 5 or bigger than 5, then the loop we're going to stop. Okay. And each time each time the for loop runs, when it finishes once, and then the I will increase by 1. That means I++. I++ is the short form of I equals to I plus 1. Okay, so I++, if you run it, then I will increase by 1. Okay, so we're going to do this very simple example together. And so we set a for loop. We're going to tell browser we're going to make a for loop, and then we make a counter I equals to 0. So initially everything starts from 0, and I less than 5. This means if I less than 5, the codes inside this block are still allowed to execute. Okay, and every time the code B is being executed, and I are going to increase it by 1. Okay, so the step is, let me print I first. So the step is, initially I is equals to 0, so I is less than 5. Okay, can run. Then 1 to the screen. Okay, and now I is 0, pin 0, sorry, and I is 0 currently. But once this line of code executed and reach the end of the for loop, then I is going to increase it by 1. Okay, then I equals to 1, so I still less than 5. So this line of code still can be executed. So we will see 1 at the console. Okay, until I reach 5. So 5 is not less than 5. So the loop is stopped. Okay, so we go to the browser and see the results. You should see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as the result, because when I equals to 5, the loop will be stopped. Okay. So let us do some quiz right now. So we are going to print 10 numbers, and now we started from 1. Okay, so it should print 1 to 10 from the screen. So now I have a question to ask you guys. Okay, 1 to 10, very simple. Okay, 1 to 10. What if I want you to print 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 even numbers? What do we do? Only even numbers. So the hint is we are going to use the if statement. And the remaining value %, we're going to use it. Okay, so you have 1 minute to do the quiz. Whoa. Impressive. You guys are very smart. Okay, one more rule. We can't change the settings inside the for loop. These settings remains unchanged. So there are many ways to achieve these results. Okay, but if we want to remain the settings unchanged, we should use the if statement. If I over 2 remaining value is 0, then we print it out. Okay. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. So what if I want to print 8, 4 and 8 only? The multiple of 4. Multiple of 4. Okay, that's too simple to you guys. Okay. Yes, the answer is simply change the 2 to 4. Yes. So now we know how to tell computer to do something repeatedly. Then we're going to learn about function. Okay, function, variables, if statements, and loops. These four elements they could construct a very, very complicated program. Okay, because every complicated program consists of simple things. Okay, so we're going to learn function. So function is a reusable block of code. Imagine that if I declare a function called sum, so the sum function, SUM, are going to add the inputs together. So if you give the sum function two numbers, 1 and 2, and then it will return the results as 3. Okay. So if we define the function sum once, and then we can use it everywhere inside the program. Okay, so if a function is very complicated, so we just need to write it once, and then we can use it everywhere. So we can avoid a lot of duplicated code. Get it? So we're going to write a very simple function together. So now I can teach you guys how to comment the code. So there are 2 ways. The first way is 2 backslashes, and then everything you type behind it will not be executed by the browser. Okay. And the second one is a slash and a star symbol, and end with this symbol, star, and a backslash. 2 ways. The first way to comment the code, and this is the second way. And all codes within these two sets of symbol will be commented. Okay, and they will not be executed. So because I want to keep my console very clean, so I would like to comment all codes together. Okay, so start with the slash, and then a star symbol, and then start again, and then the backslash. Okay, so we're going to make the first function. So this is a function called sum. Okay, this bracket means the entrance of the inputs. Okay, you can treat function like a coffee bean machine, and at the entrance of the function of the coffee bean machine, you put some coffee beans into it, and then after some process, it will returns the coffee powders to you. Okay, so the concept is like this: coffee bean machine, and then beans, and some process. You guys don't need to copy the code. The code. I just want to demonstrate the principles to you. Return. Okay, that is what function does. Then we are able to use this machine everywhere. Okay, so if I need to do the same process 10 times in my program, I can simply type coffee bean machine and then put some beans into it, so I can get the powder I want. Okay, so back to the example, function sum. So this function are going to add input 1 and input 2 together, and then return to the user. So A plus B, right? And so how to execute the function? Simply type sum and then put 1, 1. Okay. So if I execute these codes at the browser, will you able to see any results? No. No. Yes. The answer is no, because the function is executed, but we still need to call console log, the console log function, and put the results into the functions. So we can simply type in this way. Okay. And then refresh the browser and see what it does. Then you will get answer 2. Any questions? Any questions about function? Okay. So if we're trying to put Peter Chan together, okay, and you will see the words comes out, and they concat together. Because this function, it will not check the type of the inputs. Even you put a string into the function, it will try to add them together. Okay. So let's do a more complicated example, with a small quiz. So now, we know a formula called the Celsius and Fahrenheit. So we are going to transform the Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, so we know the formula, C equals to 5/9, and then multiply F minus 32. Okay. So I want to know the answers. If I would like to create a function called C to F, and that function are able to transform the Celsius to the Fahrenheit. Okay, so what is the answers? You can simply type the answer inside the chat room. Sorry, the function name should be f to c. Sorry, because we're going to transform f to c because this is the answer. Sorry. Sorry, I always mess it up. Oh, the answer should be, so we are going to make a function called f to c, and the input should be f, okay, f, let's call it f, and simply return 5/9 and multiply f minus 32. So we just made a very handy function that can transform Fahrenheit to Celsius. So we input f, you input 100. So 100 of, so what is the result in Celsius? 100 should be 37 point, around 38 degrees Celsius, okay. So you guys got it? So you guys know what function does, okay. So once we defined the function, then we can input any values we want. So 200. So let's see how much degrees Celsius of 200 should be 93. Okay. So let's go back to the slides. Okay, so we have learned the fundamentals of JavaScript. The first thing is variables. It is used to store the data when we are doing some process, okay. And the second one is operator. Okay, so we can do operations and some comparisons, and we are able to make decision by if statement. There are some another ways to do decisions called switch, okay. But we use if statement very commonly, okay. And the fourth one is loop, for loop. There is another loop called while, WHILE, while loop, okay. But we always use for loop because it is more handy. And the last one is function, okay. There are two, and nowadays we are using a new way to define a function, but I'm not going to teach you guys first because this is the most standard way to declare a function, okay. And then if you are still interested to become a developer, or you want to learn more about programming, I highly recommend you guys to learn more about JavaScript. So and the coming slides is called framework, and there is a framework called React, which is developed by Facebook. So if you're familiar with React, then you can build website, a very powerful website in a short time, okay. But before you learn React, you must familiar with JavaScript first, okay. So these slides are for you guys to go back and then study. So we can do one more complicated example together. So let me comment it as well. Okay, so this is for you guys to focus for reference, and then now we're going to make a button in the HTML. So when we click on the button, this sentence is going to change. Okay. So I want you guys to realize how JavaScript to toggle the elements of HTML. So we do a button. There is a tag called button. Okay, and the button called change word. Let's say called change word. Then we use this. We use div to including these sentences. Java is amazing, and then we give it a ID identifier. So we call it words. Sorry. So we hit save. And then go back to the browser. You should be able to see a button on your screen, right? Nope. A button. And then save. Don't forget the backslash. If you guys do have difficulties and the button is not coming up, you may simply copy the code that. Okay. Then now we declare a function called change words. Okay. Inside the JavaScript. Then inside JavaScript, there is a preserved word called document. Okay, document means the whole web page, and the whole web page has some functions for you to use already. And one function is called, there is a function is called get element by ID. Okay, then we have typed a element has an ID called words before. So if we type words here, so this object means this element. Okay, JS is amazing. This, okay, and then we declare a variable to store the object. So we name it words element. Okay, so we create a variable called words element and then store the elements we just found by the IDs words. And we are going to change the text inside this division, words elements inner text, to hello world. Okay, so we are trying to assign this value to this element. Okay. So if you guys want to test this function, we can simply execute it after we define the function. And refresh and see what it does. So you should not able to see JS is amazing, because when you open up the website, it always shows hello world to you. Okay. Because when the website appears on your screen, the function executed immediately. So the wordings inside this div are replaced by hello world. Okay, so we are not going to call the function at the moment. Then we try to, because we want when user click on change word, and the words inside this div will change. So button has a attribute or a settings called onClick. So what do we do? What the buttons are going to do when users click on the button? So we want the button are going to execute the function change words when user clicked on it. Okay, when the button is clicked on click, the function change words will be executed. Okay. There is no any difference between the double quote and a single quote, because let's take I will use this slide to do an example. This one is no difference with this one. Okay, because if I would like to code something inside sentences, maybe I want to code this. If I want to code the word this, then we will not able to code this, because at the outside we already use the double quote symbol. So that is the function of single quote symbol. Okay, it helps us to escape from the double quote. Okay, so we can mix it and use together. Okay, now we save and refresh, see what it does. If we click on the button. So initially, you will see JS is amazing, but if I click on the button, the wording should be changed to hello world. Okay. Any question? So we define a function called change words, and this line, the document are trying to find an element with the ID words to you, and then we change its inner text to hello world. Okay, so that's what the function does, and then we set on click attribute. So we tell the button when someone clicks you, then you execute this function change words. Okay. But now I have a small quiz for you guys. So when user clicked on the button, and this sentence and these wordings change to hello world, but if the user click on the button again, then it will change back to JS is amazing again. So what do we do? The hint is use if function. Okay, and some comparison between the string. So you will use this hints will help you to do the following tasks. So when we click on the button, JS is amazing changed to Hello World. And I click on the button again. Hello World changed back to JS is amazing. So there are two hints for you. Another hint is this line will be removed. So the logic should be if the inner text equals to Hello World, then I change it to JS is amazing. And if the inner text equals to JS is amazing, then I change it back to Hello World. So what's the answer? Oh, someone just typed the correct answer and send it to the chat room. Thirty seconds more. So Stephen, make sure the onClick is in upper lowercase, and make sure you have the exact same wordings with the function change verbs. They should be the same, even the W. Okay, so time to tell you guys the answer. So I'm going to comment out this line. So if the inner text equals to Hello World, okay, then I set it to JS is amazing. Okay, else I set it back to Hello World. Okay, this is the answer. Got it? Any questions? So let's see the results. Oops. Sorry, case sensitive. Okay, again. The results will be like this. Okay, if the wording is equals to JS blah blah blah, then will be changed when I click the button, and then we will see Hello World. And if it is equals to Hello World, it will change that back to JavaScript is amazing. Okay. The results will be like this. So the answer is consists of 5 lines of code, but there is a very lazy way to do it. Is words elements in the text. This is the lazy way, okay? Over here. Equals to, and then this is we call it single line if statement. It is one line if statement, okay? So we ask computer, does the inner text equals to hello world and question mark? If yes, okay. If yes, we set it to JS is amazing. And then otherwise, hello world. Okay. This is the question. And then if the answer is yes, so the value will be JS is amazing. Otherwise, it will be hello world. And let me comment out this. So we call it a inline if statement. Okay. Yes. Someone asked, can we use else if? Yes. There is another way to use if statement called else if. So we can do a lot of ifs together. So we can else if for a lot of different cases. So we can interpret again. It looks like keep asking computer question. Looks like we keep asking questions to the computer. So if it is equals to hello world, we set it to JS is amazing. Otherwise, if equals to JS is amazing, then we set it to hello world. Okay. So that is we just visualize the logics, and that is what function and that is what programming does. Okay, 30 seconds more for you guys to copy the code. Any questions? So remember, the variables, all wordings, all things you type in JavaScript is case sensitive. Okay. Cool. Then that's the end of today's lesson. And so hope you guys enjoy the lessons. And if you want to keep learning about programming, so feel free to contact us. Then we have some courses for you guys. Yes. For the mobile apps development, because I have mentioned it, the React JS, right? React JS. The framework of React JS, it is able to build websites and mobile apps. So let me show you about React JS. Okay. So this is, and then there is another framework called React Native. So you guys just see React Native is developed based on React. So they have the same logic with React.js. So if you guys keep learning about JavaScript and then you should go to learn about React.js, then use React.js to build websites. And once you're familiar with React.js, then you should able to adopt React Native very fast because their concept basically they're same. Okay. Also, there are lots of tutorials to help you to get start of React.js. Okay. So and I would like to recommend you to use CodePen.io. So it is an online editor. Then you can try to type any any code in JavaScript, and then you can see the results immediately. But at this moment, you guys should learn and get more familiar with JavaScript first, because React.js is like kind of complicated. If you don't learn more about JavaScript, okay. So that's the end of the lessons. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop a message to us. And if you guys want to enroll some courses about JavaScript or website programming, so feel free to drop the message and fill in the Google form, and the link is sent by Eddie. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you for your time. Okay. So hope I see you. Hope I can see you at the upcoming lessons. Okay. Thank you. See you.